There is a health crisis happening inside American homes right now. Not outside, not in the water, not in the air you can see. Inside the walls, behind the drywall in your bathroom, under the subfloor in your kitchen, in the ceiling cavity above the room your child sleeps in every night. The EPA estimates that mold is present in approximately 47% of American homes, nearly half. And the vast majority of it is invisible. Not because it's rare, not because it's hard to detect with proper tools, but because it grows in the spaces between your walls where no one looks until someone in the house starts having headaches that won't stop, or respiratory symptoms that no doctor can explain, or fatigue so persistent that it gets misdiagnosed as anxiety or depression for months before anyone thinks to test the air quality in the building. The CDC has formally linked indoor mold exposure to upper respiratory symptoms, asthma exacerbation, and hypersensitivity pneumonitis. The Institute of Medicine reviewed the evidence and concluded sufficient evidence exists to link indoor mold exposure to respiratory illness in otherwise healthy people. Not sensitive people, not immunocompromised people, healthy people. And the remediation industry's answer to this is a $3,000 to $8,000 service call. Hazmat suits, industrial equipment, proprietary chemical treatments. A process that gets presented as so technical, so dangerous, so far beyond the capability of a homeowner that the only rational response is to write a check and step aside. What they are not telling you. What the $8 billion mold remediation industry has built its entire business model around you never finding out. Is that the active ingredient doing the actual killing in professional mold remediation? Is a white powder. Available at any hardware store. Costs $2. Has been documented as effective against mold and fungal growth since before the remediation industry existed as a profession. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what this powder is, how it kills mold at the cellular level in a way that bleach cannot, where every hidden mold colony in your home is most likely located right now, and how to eliminate it permanently for $2, without a hazmat suit, without a $6,000 invoice, and without ever calling a company that profits from making this seem impossible. This is chemistry, not a workaround, not a folk remedy. Documented, peer-reviewed, EPA-registered chemistry that professional remediators use and then charge you for, as if the knowledge itself belongs to them. First, understand what mold actually is, and why the way most people try to kill it guarantees it comes back. Mold is not a stain. This is the mistake that costs people thousands of dollars and their health. Mold is a living organism with a root structure. The visible dark patch on your grout, your ceiling, your wall is the surface fruiting body, the part you can see. Below that surface, mold grows a network of structures called hyphae, microscopic filaments that penetrate porous materials, drywall, wood framing, grout, ceiling tile, insulation. The hyphae are anchored inside the material, not on it, inside it. When you spray bleach on a mold colony, you kill the surface fruiting body. The visible part disappears. You think it's gone. But bleach is water-based, and water does not penetrate deeply into porous building materials. The chlorine in bleach oxidizes at the surface and exhausts before it reaches the hyphae network below. The root structure survives, intact, and within days to weeks, the surface colony reestablishes from the living root system you never reached. This is not a failure of effort. It is a failure of chemistry. Bleach was never engineered to kill mold in porous materials. It was engineered to disinfect hard, non-porous surfaces. The mold remediation industry knows this. They use different chemistry, and then they charge you $6,000 for the difference. The powder is borax, sodium tetraborate, a naturally occurring mineral mined from dry lake beds in the Mojave Desert. The same compound used in 20 Mule Team borax, sitting on the bottom shelf of the laundry aisle at Walmart for $4 a box. A box containing enough borax to treat every mold-affected surface in the average American home, several times over. Here is why borax kills mold when bleach fails. Borax has a pH of approximately 9.3 when dissolved in water, strongly alkaline. Mold cannot survive in a strongly alkaline environment. But that is not the main mechanism. The critical property of borax is this: it is not water-based in the way bleach is. When a borax solution is applied to a porous surface and the water evaporates, the borax does not evaporate with it. The mineral deposits remain in the material, embedded in the pores, in the wood grain, in the grout, in the drywall paper, creating a persistent alkaline environment inside the material itself. The hyphae network trying to re-establish encounters alkaline mineral deposits at every point of penetration. The regrowth cannot happen. This is not a one-time surface kill. This is an environmental change that makes the material inhospitable to mold on an ongoing basis. A 1998 study published in the International Biodeterioration and Biodegradation Journal confirmed borate compounds as effective fungicides against wood-decaying fungi at low concentrations. The wood preservation industry has used borate treatments for exactly this property since the 1940s. Pressure-treated lumber in construction is treated with borate compounds to prevent fungal decay. The same chemistry, the same mineral, applied to your wall instead of a 2x4. The EPA lists borax as a registered pesticide effective against mold and fungal growth, not as an alternative remedy, as a registered, documented, verified pesticide. $4 at Walmart. Here is exactly how to use it, and the application details that determine whether you eliminate the colony or just suppress it temporarily. Mix 1 cup of borax powder into 1 gallon of warm water. Stir until fully dissolved. You now have a borax solution with a concentration sufficient for mold elimination. Do not add soap. Do not add bleach. Do not add vinegar. Adding acidic compounds like vinegar lowers the pH of the solution and partially neutralizes the alkaline mechanism that makes borax work. Borax alone. Water. That is the formula. For surface mold on hard or semi-porous materials like tile grout, painted drywall, sealed wood, or caulking, apply the borax solution with a scrub brush or sponge. Work it into the surface. Scrub the visible colony away. Then apply a second layer of solution. Do not rinse. This is critical. Do not rinse the surface. Rinsing removes the borax residue deposited in the material. That residue is the persistent protection. Rinsing it away converts a permanent solution into a temporary one. Apply. Scrub. Apply again. Walk away. Let the surface dry with the borax residue in place. For mold on unpainted drywall or raw wood, which are the high-stakes cases, the application is the same. The penetration is deeper because the material is more porous. Apply generously. Allow extended dwell time before the second application. Minimum 10 minutes of contact before scrubbing. For mold inside wall cavities, which is where the serious colonies live, cut an access panel in the drywall. Treat the exposed framing and insulation with borax solution. Allow to dry completely and replace with new drywall. The borax-treated framing is now inhospitable to future mold growth. You have not just eliminated the colony, you have changed the environment it was living in. Now let me tell you where the mold in your home almost certainly is right now, even if you can't see it. Bathroom walls behind the tile surround. Most tiled shower surrounds have paper-faced drywall behind them. When grout cracks or caulk fails, water infiltrates. The drywall paper is an ideal mold substrate. Colonies can grow to cover entire wall cavities behind tile that looks perfectly clean from the shower side. Under kitchen sinks. Plumbing connections leak slowly. The cabinet base beneath a sink sees repeated moisture events. The compressed wood-based material is highly mold susceptible. Check it monthly. Around window frames. Condensation on glass runs down and saturates the wood framing. Repeated seasonal moisture cycles create conditions mold establishes in over time. In attics. Inadequate ventilation combined with winter condensation on cold roof sheathing creates ideal mold conditions. An attic mold colony can cover hundreds of square feet of roof sheathing, while the living space below shows no visible signs. In HVAC duct insulation, condensation inside ducts creates mold growth in the insulating wrap. Then your air handling system distributes the spores to every room in the house simultaneously, every time the system runs. Now here is the full picture, because this channel gives you limitations. Not just the version of the story that makes you feel powerful before you understand the edge cases. Borax is highly effective against mold on materials that can be treated and remain in place. It is not the right solution for materials that are saturated beyond surface penetration. If drywall has been wet for more than 48 to 72 hours continuously, the paper and gypsum core may be compromised beyond treatment. In those cases, removal and replacement of the affected drywall section is the correct response. Borax the framing behind it. Replace the drywall. That is a Saturday afternoon, not a $6,000 remediation contract. Also, large-scale mold involving more than 10 square feet of surface area in a single area. Colonies in HVAC systems, or mold growth following a flooding event involving sewage or exterior water intrusion should involve professional assessment. Not necessarily professional remediation at $6,000, but professional assessment to determine the extent of the intrusion before you treat. The EPA's own mold remediation guidance draws the line at 10 square feet. Below that threshold, the EPA explicitly states that homeowners can handle remediation themselves. Read that again. The EPA says you can do this yourself, for anything under 10 square feet, which covers the vast majority of residential mold situations. Wear an N95 mask during application. Mold spores become airborne when disturbed. Inhalation of concentrated spores during remediation is the primary exposure risk. An N95 mask costs $1. Gloves, eye protection. Ventilate the space. These precautions cost less than $5 combined and address the only genuine safety consideration in a standard residential mold treatment. Here is what lands with me every time I think about this. Borate compounds have been used in wood preservation since the 1940s. The EPA registered borax as a pesticide against mold decades ago. The construction industry has used borate treatment as a standard fungal prevention protocol for over 80 years. The same mineral, the same chemistry, the same mechanism, available on the bottom shelf of the laundry aisle for $4. And the mold remediation industry in America generates $8 billion in annual revenue. From homeowners who were never told, who were shown a hazmat suit and a truck and an invoice, and a number that felt too large to question. Because questioning it would require knowing that the active mechanism, the chemistry that actually kills the colony, is a 2,400-year-old naturally occurring mineral that ancient Romans used as a preservative. That Mojave Desert mining operations have been producing for over a century. That cost $4 a box. The knowledge did not disappear, it was repositioned. Dressed up in proprietary language, industrial equipment, and a service contract designed to make you feel like the problem is larger than it is and the solution is beyond you. Neither of those things is true. I don't know your situation or why you're watching this today. Maybe you found something dark in the corner of your bathroom this week, and you started pricing remediation companies. Maybe someone in your home has been sick in ways that don't add up, and you're following a thread. Maybe you're just someone who finds it worth knowing that an $8 billion industry is built on the assumption that you will never read the EPA's own guidance on residential mold remediation. Guidance that explicitly says you can handle this yourself, with simple materials, for under $10. Whatever brought you here, the answer is the same: borax. 1 cup per gallon of warm water. Apply. Scrub. Apply again. Do not rinse. Walk away. The mineral deposits stay in the material. The alkaline environment persists. The colony cannot reestablish. $4 at Walmart. Documented since the 1940s. EPA registered, used by the same professional remediators who just quoted you $6,000. The knowledge was always there, sitting on a shelf in the laundry aisle, waiting for someone to stop walking past it. Now you know exactly what you're looking at, and you won't forget it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next.